Hello and welcome to Africa Today on Bridge Africa 24. Africa Today brings to you news stories that surround the African continent for your updates on trending news and information. So, join me as we journey through what is happening in Africa. During the presidential visit to Central African Republic, Rwandan President Paul Kagame proposed an inclusive dialogue and consensus as a solution to ending the ongoing crisis in Central Africa. His meeting with Central Africa's president brought about the signing of 5 agreements between the two countries, among which are military, economic, mining, and oil agreements. And in Guinea, following recent demonstrations early this week against a possible change to the constitution that could let President Alpha Condé seek a third term, 8 opposition leaders have gone on trial in Guinea, accused of organizing the protests against current president. Activists say that at least 7 people have been killed since protests began on Monday in the capital Conakry and elsewhere in the country. And on to this good news, Moroccan President Mohamed VI has granted a presidential pardon to journalist Hajar Rassouni, who was recently sentenced to 1 year in prison for illegal abortion and sexual relations outside marriage. This release records a victory for the young woman, her fiancé, and the medical team who were arrested as well as the human rights defenders and feminist activists who had lobbied for their release. And now in Kenya, after a deadly collapse of a primary school in Nairobi last September 23rd, which killed 8 students, the Kenyan government has ordered hundreds of informal schools to be shut down. These children are expected to be transferred to nearby public schools, which are already overcrowded. In Cameroon, the Ministry of Defense has called on members of the armed forces to quit all social media discussion groups. The authority equally indicates that it is now forbidden for all army personnel to speak on the media or to publish on social media networks information, documents, or images related to military activities. The military men have been given 2 weeks to quit the groups they belong to. That is it for today. You just watched Africa Today on Bridge Africa 24. I am Riza Lingwa and see you next time.